Hi, this is Karen with inspiredbygraham.com, and today we'll be making this card, and we'll be using the Daisy Lane stamp set, and that is a cling stamp set from Stampin' Up. We'll also be featuring the See a Silhouette Designer Series paper, and I chose this blue pattern here to go with the card. So let's get started making the card. It's actually a pretty simple card, which you can really actually mass produce quite easily. And we'll be using Pacific Point ink. And we'll be stamping the daisy 3 times. Remember, working with odd numbers is a little bit more pleasing to the eye rather than even numbers. So I'm just stamping that one at the very top, and then I'm going to tuck this one under on the lower right side. And the other one is going to just go off to the edge, the left side of the cardstock just a little bit. Okay, so now that we've got this daisy stamp out, we're going to actually stamp the inside panel just in the lower corner there, and also our envelope. I like to just make sure the pattern goes through the inside panel and also the envelope as well. All right, so now we're going to use our old olive ink to add the stems. I've got an H block that I love this one because it fits a stamp so nicely. And we're just going to stamp that center one, and also we'll stamp the one on the right, and you're just going to want to tuck it up underneath the little petals there. Okay, so now what we do is we'll just stamp friend up in the upper right corner. Make sure you leave enough white space to do that. And on the inside panel, we're gonna add the best moments in my life happen with you. Okay, and I think we've got all our stamping done. So let me just close up these ink pads here, and we can assemble the card. So I've got a piece of the Pacific Point cardstock, and this is cut 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4. And I'm just going to simply add the inside panel. And we're just using a 1/4 inch border on all 4 sides. Okay, and then we're going to add our Designer Series paper. Again, this is from the See a Silhouette Designer Series paper, which is in the Stampin' Up annual catalog. And we're going to add the solid blue color at the top. Again, 1/4 inch border on the left, top, and right side. And then we'll just add the same size. And this is actually, it's a piece that I cut 4 by 5 1/4, and then I just cut it in half at 2 inches. So these are 2 by 5 1/4 inches. I'm just lining that up with the edge of the solid blue. And then I'm going to add this piece of old olive cardstock. Now you can keep this regular, or you can actually emboss it as well. But I didn't want to get out the big shot and do all that. So I'm just going to simply add this piece here. And why I added this old olive piece is it just kind of breaks up the image a little bit and just adds a little bit of dimension to it. All right, so now we're just going to add this panel, a Whisper White. And again, I don't think I gave you the size of this one. This one is cut 3 by 4 inches. And we're just going to adhere that onto a piece of old olive cardstock that is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And I'm just going to give some dimension to this. So we'll add 4 dimensionals. You could add 5 if you wanted to in the middle, but I don't think it's really necessary. All right, so the best way to get these backings off the dimensionals is I just use my fingernail there and just press it down in the middle, and they seem to come off a little bit easier that way. You could also take your piercing tool as well to release those backings. All right, so now we're just going to center this on the card. I'm looking at the top, left, right, and bottom. So we've got an equal border on all 4 sides. And I'm just going to add this baker's twine bow here and some enamel glitter dots. And this is just some baker's twine from a paper pumpkin kit. So if you order paper pumpkin kits, and you can do that on my website, Stampin' Up! Always gives you a lot of extra product. So I find that I use the extra product on a lot of my cards. All right, so I'm just gonna trim up that bow somewhere. I've got my paper snips here, just to get those tails at an equal length. All right, so this baker's twine's got some green in it. I think it's actually a Tranquil Tide color, but it does match really nicely. And then we'll just add some glitter enamel dots, and this is actually Granny Apple Green, but I like the green in it. I thought it pulled from the old olive, so I'm just gonna put some of these, 2 over here in this white space, just to fill up this little bit here, and then 1, I'm using all 3 different sizes, so the large, the medium, and then the small one I'm just gonna put up here in the corner there. So there's our card for today. And just bring it into the picture here. This is the one I made off camera. And here's the one that I made on camera with you today. So hopefully you enjoyed my card. It's actually super simple, which you can actually mass produce very easily. So for all your Stampin' needs, please visit my website at inspiredbygram.com. Thanks for watching and have a great day.